I'm not kidding when I say this may be our biggest day of leaks yet for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. We've got a lot to talk about. Alright, so before I get into the good stuff, there's a few things I want to mention regarding the World Championships. Victini is set to be distributed from Pokemon Sword and Shield via a shared code during the Video Game Championships live stream, which starts on the 18th. So if you want to snag a Victini in Sword and Shield, that'll be your opportunity to do so. Those who are actually attending the World Championship are going to be able to get a Sinistea holding a Moo Moo Milk with the move Celebrate. And last but not least, there's a special card, Path to the Peak, distributed to players of the trading card game online or live through World Championship TCG, so you have an opportunity to grab that as well. So if you're going to the World Championship, some really cool bonuses. Shouts to Cerebi.net for reporting on that. Now, moving on to the next thing, this is massive. I mentioned this in a previous video. Seems as though we hit a home run. I'm pretty proud of it. If you look at the Terastal mechanic, you've got those crystals on their head that kind of forms these different things like the candelabra or the flowers or the, the fountain or whatever it may be. There was a little face, set of eyes that was located right here on the top of the head, and I said that I thought it had something to do with a potential third legendary, and Riddler KHU says, explains the face of the base of Terra ornaments, and Pokesutami believes that it is regarding a third legendary that will be unveiled in DLC for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, not in the main game. So stay tuned for that. It seems like all signs are pointing towards DLC for this game, and that is indeed going to be the reveal for this third legendary that basically explains the Terastal phenomenon in the Paldea region. We've got a lot to talk about regarding paradox forms, pseudos, all sorts of stuff in this video, but I want to let you guys know that I have a massive giveaway that I'm dropping today for the weekend to win a Nintendo Switch and the prototype holographic of Sonicore, the newest Celestial that I revealed today, the day this video is going up. So make sure you guys check the description below, sign up in the Gleam. It's very easy, just follow Celestials on social media. You'll have a chance to win the holographic Sonicore and a brand new Nintendo Switch. It's very easy to do, and you'll be supporting my project. And I think honestly, when you see Sonicore and the little trailer, as you can see here, you're gonna want to be a part of Celestials. It is crazy. We are changing the game. So thanks to everybody who's been supporting there. So the Riddler goes on to say that there's 3 paradox pseudo origins in total. I missed one before. It was previously thought that there were gonna be 2 Pokemon that were gonna get these new paradox forms, which are both past and future Pokemon. And he says that there's gonna be another pseudo. So we were thinking like Salamence Titar, I think was kind of the most recent conclusion in the community so far was Salamence and Titar. And he goes on to say that there's 16 total, but says, would you count Solgaleo and Lunala as Ultra Beasts? If you would, then 18. So he says, we'll have to wait and see. So I do think as though there's gonna be 16, and then I guess based on what he's saying, if I'm interpreting this correctly, it's really 18 if you count Koraidon and Miraidon. So I think that's, if I'm interpreting that correctly. So we'll wait and see how that kind of plays out in terms of the paradox forms, but it seems like at least 16 paradox forms are going to exist in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, 3 of which are pseudo legendaries. So I think that's pretty sweet. We've seen a few of them through the leaks, like Jigglypuff, like Amoonguss. We're expecting things like Volcarona as well to get paradox forms in the game. Then talking about kind of the perils, the evil quartet that's going to be taking place. We talked a lot about this week. In terms of the leaks, right? You've got the Nature Quartet. I keep saying Eternatus. It's Enamorous. My apologies. I do read the comments. But yes, Tornadus, Landorus, and Thundurus, as well as Enamorous. So now we are believing that there's going to be 4 legendary Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet that are going to be dark type legendaries, and we have the typings of those actually from the Riddler as well. Fire, ground, ice, and grass, apparently. He says that although the attribute resistance is garbage, the characteristics are awesome and there's no shortage of reservations. Proper translations from our friend Serena actually says, although the type resistance are garbage, the ability is insanely good. It's the Gen 9 OP Pokemon that people will pick for battles regardless of whether they like it or not. Wow. So that's super interesting, and this is why we don't use Google Translate on this. Serena, thank you, because I clearly misinterpreted that through the quick little translate button there, saying that their type resistances are garbage. Dark Grass, terrible type resistances. Weak to so many things. Dark Fire, not as bad. Incineroar is really good. Dark Ground is meh. Dark Ice, very bad defensively. But they're saying that these Peril Pokemon, their abilities are insanely good. It's the Gen 9 OP Pokemon that people are going to pick for battles. Insanely good tells me things like Defiant, Competitive, that kind of stuff because of how prevalent that is in VGC. Intimidate is another one with Fake Out. It could very much so be terrain-based. It could be weather-based, right? There's a few things here, right? It could be weather-based, could be terrain-based, could be grassy terrain, could be Sandstorm for the ground one, could be Hail for the ice one, Could be sunny day. We'll have to wait and see, but very interesting. If that would be the things that I would think of in terms of OP abilities, right? Weather, terrain, that kind of stuff. Trick Room, auto Trick Room, which we've never seen. This is interesting. Prankster, another one for dark types, could be pretty legit. Adaptability, super luck, that kind of stuff. Huge power, obviously, another one. Very interesting though. I'm actually excited talking about this because competitive, I stepped so far away from competitive. Long story short, obviously the World Championship is going on next week. I was originally planning to compete for the World Championship, then COVID happened. I was doing the circuit for VGC. I actually am about halfway qualified for Worlds, but then COVID happened, and then I stopped going to events. I have a family, obviously, and I didn't want to put them at risk. So I stopped going to events. A lot of it moved to online. They canceled events, etc. But shout out to everyone going to the World Championship. I'm going to be watching it. I'm excited about it. Anyway, the Riddler goes on to say, there's no need to guess that type nonsense. Black Bull, Red Bull, and Blue Bull. And I think that this is in reference to the fact that there's going to be a new Tauros. And not only is there a new Tauros, but it apparently has 3 forms in the Paldea region, saying black, red, and blue. What does that mean? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but I think that's what they're talking about in terms of the different types there. The Riddler then goes on to say that, who says our crocodile boy can't stand up? Trainers, it's time to riot. Oh boy, sounds like Fuecoco's evolution can stand up. We originally thought it was gonna be quadruped. It probably still is quadruped based on everything we've seen so far. But it might mean that he can also stand up on his back 2 legs and fire out some fierce flames. So we'll see how that all plays out, obviously, as we get closer to the reveal. So the Riddler then goes and puts out an actual proper Riddler, says Paradox, Boss _A, Moth, Mushroom, Mag, Balloon, Wizard, Boss, Moth, Pigtails, Sumo, Santa V. Listen, I'm not even gonna try to decipher this. I'm sure someone smarter than me is gonna bring this out into the community at some point in the future. I think of Mushroom being Amoonguss. I think of Santa being Delibird. I think of Sumo being Hariyama. There's Moth on there twice. Volcarona is probably it, because we believe that Volcarona is gonna get both forms, 2 different forms for Volcarona. Mag could be like Mismagius or Magnemite, Magneton. Balloon, Wizard, I don't know if that's the same thing. Balloon tells me Drifloon, Driftblim. We know that apparently Mismagius is one of them. Not Hermione, Misdreavus is. So I think we got a few of them, but I don't know if I got all of them. And then the last thing, the bombshell. He's got to be trolling, but the Riddler goes on to say, not gonna lie, Kaka is me. Kaka is the one who's been posting all these screenshots. What if the Riddler KHU and Kaka were the same people, and this was a way for Riddler KHU to put out more information to the community without jeopardizing their growing following as Riddler KHU, with probably, what does he have, like 100,000 followers now? That's like 94,000 followers. I remember like months ago, guys, when I started covering KHU had like 10K followers, right? Which is still significant, but I wonder, and listen, they're probably trolling, but that's crazy if that's the case. If it's the same person, I don't think so, but it would be crazy. There's a lot that we just broke down. Let me know your thoughts on everything in the comment section below. Don't forget our giveaway, guys. Only 3 of these holos exist in the world. I'm not printing more of them, at least until, not this holo anyway. So enter the giveaway, Gleam, check out Illustrals. It's amazing. Very excited to post the card breakdown today. And that's that for our leaks. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.